Misery, directed by Reiner, starring James Caan, Kathy Bates, and Richard Farnsworth. After a famous author is rescued from a car crash by a fan of his novels, he comes to realize that the care he is receiving is only the beginning of a nightmare of captivity and abuse. Misery is a film that I grew up with watching. It came out in 1990, and I was probably about 6 years old when it came out in theaters. And seeing it as a kid, I really loved this film. It's very tense, it's very unpredictable, and the character of Annie Wilkes, played expertly by Kathy Bates, is frightening. And as I've gotten older, and now that I'm an adult, the film is even better. It's one of those films that has aged incredibly well. It doesn't feel like a film that came out in the early 1990s. It feels very much like a timeless film. And one of the things that really stands out about this film is the incredible cast. You have James Caan as Paul Sheldon, who is definitely outside of his comfort zone. He's not able to be active. He's usually the really active guy in a film. You look at his role in The Godfather as Sonny, and that is an explosive character. In Misery, he has to be restrained. He's either bedridden or he's in a wheelchair. And so you can see how frustrated he is that he can't get up and move, and that he is under the control of Annie Wilkes, who is phenomenally played by Kathy Bates. And this was her first leading role, and she knocks it out of the park. Richard Farnsworth as Buster is a great supporting character. He plays the sheriff of this small town, along with his wife, Virginia, who also is his deputy. And the two of them have a fantastic chemistry with one another. They play so well off of one another. And the same can be said of James Caan and Kathy Bates, because this film primarily takes place in this house with just these two primary characters. And it's a testament to not only how well written the story was originally by Stephen King, but it's also a testament to the expert direction by Reiner. This was his first thriller that he'd ever done. He had done When Harry Met Sally previously, but this was his first time getting into a thriller, getting into a horror thriller, and he does a fantastic job. He's able to not only bring in the horror and really horrify you, because there are some moments in this film, especially the hobbling scene, that are terrifying. And speaking of the hobbling scene, fantastic practical effects by KMB Effects, which was Greg Nicotero leading that. He does fantastic work in this film. But with Reiner, he basically gave himself a crash course on thrillers and horror films and studied Alfred Hitchcock and how well he's able to ratchet up the intensity. But he also knows when to pull away, when to not show too much so he doesn't lose the audience. He also does a great job of being able to weave in some levity, some comedy, specifically dark comedy, because Annie Wilkes is a psychopath, and there are times that she is so manic that the way that she acts is actually pretty funny, because it's that dark humor. And he also does a great job of introducing really good drama. The film is shot impeccably. The score is fantastic. The cast is great. The location is perfect. Everything about this film is what you want in a thriller, what you want in a film that is primarily set in a single location. It's one of those films that keeps you at the edge of your seat. I've seen this film at least 10 times since its original release in 1990, and it's never bored me once. It's not one of those films that I've ever gotten tired of, because of the fact that it is such a fantastic film. So with all that said, Misery gets an instant classic from me. Alright guys, now it is time to go ahead and spin the wheel to see who's going to win the Scream Factory edition of Misery. And the winner is Robbie Long. Robbie, congratulations, man. Be sure to send me a private message on Facebook or Instagram so I can get your mailing information. Thanks again, guys, for entering into the giveaway, and thank you so much for the support and for subscribing to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys next time.